Welcome to The Explainer. What if the best way to train a leader wasn't through a long, boring lecture, but through a game? Today, we're diving into a really cool idea in leadership development, a model that basically throws out the old playbook and replaces it with things like quests, role-playing, and leveling up. Let's see how this all works.
It's a huge question, right? In a world that feels more and more like some kind of complex video game, how do our leaders get the experience they need to actually, level up? The source material we're digging into today has a fascinating answer. You do it by treating leadership development itself as a game.
So, at the very heart of this new way of thinking is a specific training module. And you should think of it less like a stuffy course and more like a whole new operating system for leadership. It's designed to completely reshape how skills are built and even how a company's culture grows.
Okay, the biggest shift here is moving from passive to active learning. This whole model is built on the idea that you can't just absorb leadership from a textbook, you have to practice it. It's kind of like the difference between reading a book about how to swim and actually jumping in the water. It is all about learning by doing.
So what does this active learning actually look like? Well, the module is built on two main methods that are designed to turn leadership training into a genuinely interactive experience. So the two pillars holding this all up are gamification and role play. You can think of gamification as the engine that keeps people engaged and motivated. Meanwhile, role play is like a flight simulator, where leaders can practice their skills in super realistic situations, but without the real-world risk. Let's take a closer look at each one. First up, gamification. And let's be super clear, this is not about playing video games at your desk all day. It's about using game mechanics, things like earning points for finishing a tough conversation module, or maybe unlocking a new skill badge after you master a negotiation technique. It just makes the whole learning process way more engaging and motivating. And then you've got role play. This is where theory really smacks into practice. Participants get dropped right into realistic scenarios, like, say, trying to solve a conflict on their team or giving some really critical feedback, and they have to figure it out in real time. It's basically a practice field for those high-stakes leadership moments, just without the scary consequences.
But here's the thing. These really powerful methods aren't just for building skills in a vacuum. Nope, they serve a much bigger purpose. To give these up-and-coming leaders a deep, almost X-ray vision into how the organization itself actually works. So what are they learning exactly?
So the training really zeroes in on these three critical areas of understanding. First, participants take a deep dive into what effective leadership actually is. But we're not talking about generic definitions. It's about figuring out what leadership and empowerment mean right here, inside their own company culture. Next, they have to get a handle on the dynamics of a learning organization. This is about seeing how knowledge flows, right? Are good ideas being shared, or are they getting stuck somewhere? And finally, they learn to analyze the key challenges the organization is up against right now, the real-world problems they have to solve.
And honestly, this focus on real-world challenges is what makes this whole model so incredibly powerful. The role-playing scenarios and the gamified tasks, they aren't just abstract exercises. They're specifically designed to get leaders ready to solve the actual problems their company is dealing with today. It keeps the whole thing grounded in reality.
The source material puts a huge emphasis on creating a learning organization. And look, that's not just another corporate buzzword. It's describing a culture where knowledge flows freely and the whole company can adapt and change quickly. In today's market, that kind of adaptability is a total superpower. And the leaders trained in this module, they're designed to be the ones who make that culture happen.
So we have the methods, gamification, role play. We have the objectives, understanding leadership, challenges, the organization, but where does it all lead? What's the final form? What does a participant who finishes this journey actually become?
This really lays out the whole journey perfectly, doesn't it? You start with that active engagement through the games and roleplay. That leads to a much deeper understanding of everything. And that understanding is what finally forges this new kind of leader.
So the ultimate goal of this whole process is to create a knowledge leader. And this isn't just a fancy new title for your LinkedIn profile. It's a whole new archetype. We're talking about a leader who doesn't just manage people, but who understands the very mechanics of how their organization thinks, learns, and grows. They become the key to unlocking the company's full potential.
So what are the big takeaways from all this? When you look at it, this innovative model offers more than just another training program. It really gives us a compelling blueprint for what the future of leadership could look like. A future that's active, that's deeply tied to context, and that's laser-focused on results.
Ultimately, I think the core idea here is a really profound one. Leadership stops being this static title on an org chart and becomes a dynamic skill set, something that's unlocked, practiced, and leveled up through direct experience and a real understanding of the challenges you're facing.
Which brings us right back to the beginning, doesn't it? If leadership is a skill that you can practice and measure and master, then maybe, just maybe, the future of leadership really is a game. A very serious one, for sure, but a game that you can actually learn how to win. What do you think?